Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 367. Today is Saturday, May 1st, 2021, and I'm glad you could join me today. I have my delicious hot coffee and the Sunburn, and I am absolutely surrounded in fog. um, I ended up going to Ned and a friend's backyard in the peninsula, and would it be there is sun there where there is not here. um, she is protected from the fog by mountains. I am not. But hopefully it'll all work out. And my webcam seems to be acting a little weird right now, so hopefully performance won't be degraded today. But would it be like I showed up at our house in hat, scarf, a sweater, and a jacket. And pretty much immediately as soon as I got into our backyard, it was stripped everything. Like I was still wearing my t-shirt. That was about it. But I don't know. You can't quite see how, yeah, you can sort of see. It's like, yeah, no, that's sunburn. That's gonna hurt a lot. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I really screwed up pretty bad. You're like, that's not my shirt. It's my arm. This is gonna hurt later. It's okay now. After I realized that I was actually in somewhat danger, like I slathered my face in sunscreen, but I forgot about my arms, and apparently I haven't seen the sun in months. Or it's been cool enough here where most of my body is covered when I'm exposed to the sun, but oh well, I will pay for it later, not now. But I have my hot delicious coffee. It's about the usual time for recording, so that's not too crazy. We'll go from there. It'll be good. But what is different than usual is that I did actually get a pretty significant amount of crafting time in before recording today. Which is lovely. So, where should I start? We'll start with the bag. So last week, I may or may not have had a finished sleeve, probably. I don't know. I haven't worked any further on the body of this sweater, but I am knitting the Hinterland sweater by Jen Steingass, Knit Love Wool, out of Three Waters Farm in background blue, and Nest Fiber Studio with mixed nestlets. And this is a fingering weight colorwork yoke with lovely little contrast detail or little colorwork section right at the end of the sleeve. I'm guessing I hadn't finished the color work last week, but I'm not 100% sure. Whatever, it's not like it's a big deal. But at this point, I've almost finished the second sleeve, which is very exciting. I'm trying to navigate around my poor little beaming round marker. Whatever. This is as good a place as any. So I am almost done with the trees on the cuff, and then I have a little bit further to go after that point. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind whistling. It is like mega foggy, windy 5,000 here. So I am heading towards the trunk. There we go. Let me get these aligned. I'm heading towards the trunk, and then there's this like dense pattern there, and I'll have to actually consult the other sleeve instead of the chart because I did screw up that transition just a little bit. And then I ended up adding a little bit of ribbing that I did in 00 needles, and then I did a bind off, or I did a row, and then I did the bind off in the contrast color just to give it a little bit of flair. And I'll do the same thing in this sleeve and bottom cuff. So this one I ended up starting off where this one left off, but I'm not displeased with how it's turning out. So they won't be perfectly matchy, but they'll be pretty matchy. And that also ends up opening up the possibility of if I wanted to rejigger the yarn, because I ended up cabling this yarn in order to make it thick enough for the pattern, which I'm satisfied with. But we shall see. But it was definitely the struggle, or would it be? It wasn't too crazy to sort of work through all the sleeve decreases, that sort of thing. It was a little bit of a struggle. I don't know if I had like stitch count off or I missed decreases places or what, but I feel like I decreased more on the other sleeve. Whatever. I had 60 stitches at the end for both of them, so hopefully I'm not like weirdly lopsided or something. It doesn't look weird, so I'm sure it's fine. But I am excited to get off Sleeve Island really, really soon. Really, really soon, and then I can go back to knitting it around. So, really gorgeous. The light's really nice today too, so that helps. And the sleeves are definitely, or would it be, like I have more of the bright blue in this guy and a little bit more of the duller side of it on this one, but that shouldn't be too crazy. And yeah, this is looking nice and lined up right now. So should be good. So just a little bit more sleeve to go, and then I'll be good to go. And then it'll just be straight on for the body. I don't think the pattern calls for shaping. I'll have to decide whether or not I want any on it, and definitely to the point in the body where I would add some if I was going to, but we shall see. It's definitely not going to be, like there will be positive E's in the sweater. It won't be lots of positive E's, just based on how everything ended up working out. Whatever, my gauge ended up tighter. I'll accept whatever. I'll accept the consequences of that decision. And I'm doing that as a part of the Fluff to Stuff 2021 knit along. So this is what would it be? Hosted by Grace. Oh my gosh, why am I? Grace and Mars and Mina. There we go, dude. It's like her name just flew right out of my head. What would it be? So they're having a spin and make along. I spun that yarn in 2020, but hopefully I will actually do a project where I do like the whole process and the duration of the cow. So how soon that's going to be, I don't know. I feel like when I'm dealing with a day as foggy as this, it definitely makes me think about making my fog hat. So that might be something that I end up doing. We shall see. I have to figure out how I'm going to make that happen. It's definitely going to be a project to pull the drum carder up for. It might be wise if I actually sat down and did a lot of the drum carder stuff, I think. I just got that taken care of, make all the packs that I want to make, and call it good for a while, but oh well, we shall see. I have 4 ounces pulled out now for Carl the Fog hat, so that'll be festive. So I'll be making 2 2-ounce bats for that, and just mixing them up a little bit because one of them is more white and the other one is darker than I'd want the fog to be. It would be, you have to have the right subtle contrast for that to look about right. But I think what ended up getting lots, whatever. I'm just thinking about future spinning projects. I think because I'm dragging a little bit on my current one, but we still have knitting to talk about. So, living in my San Francisco Landmarks bag, is my What the Fade. So this is an Andrea Mowry pattern that everyone I've talked to so far has agreed it wasn't worth the mystery move along, but is a perfectly lovely pattern. And I am into the third section of it, which is pretty exciting. I don't know. Does it count as the third section? I don't know. Whatever. I am now into the third and sixth color are being used. So this is the warm side. So I have the red is Firecracker, the yellow is Orange Tabby, and then the white is Patisserie. And then on this side, because I know how to fade a blue, I have Ice Skating Party, Naive Watercolor, and in the very bottom is Blue Rinse. But it is much more subtle of a fade on this side. The Patisserie is the one that doesn't quite go quite as well. Like, I'm not unhappy with it. It's just the case where it is pretty stark. But I'm very soon going to be going off pattern with this. Because, A, I want more brioche, and B, my favorite part of the fade actually so far are the places where I have these 4-color sections. So, like, here is a 4-color section, here is a 4-color section, and I just really love sort of the complexity of color that I'm getting in these places over, would it be the 2-color sections? And what I'd be launching into next would be 1-color sections with like stripy fades, and nah. And especially because I don't have a smooth fade, I'm not coming off of like a smooth fade here. Would it be? It'd be the case where I would have a very starkly whitish section sort of in, like whatever. I think that would not be as visually appealing overall. So what I'm going to end up doing is continuing sort of the sequence that I've been going in with the brioche, and then bringing in the Ice Skating Party and Firecracker in next. So, should be good. I don't know, I'm trying to think of how I can show off the color better. Let's be, or get it close enough so you guys can see. So the Firecracker and Orange Tabby did a pretty decent job fading, but it's pretty stark with the Patisserie. So, not that I think it was bad, it's just, what would it be? It was not a smooth fade for the warm colors. And so the other thing that's going to happen is that this is going to be the warm side, and this is going to be the cool side, and all of my blues are going to stay on one side of the shawl. And then I'll have festive ends with bright colors, and the festive, whatever, warm colors peeking in with the blues. So I think it's going to be really pretty. And I promised I would show you the yarn. So Firecracker, Orange Tabby, Patisserie, which is mega blowing out, but it is actually like it's a warm, almost like pinky color, and then it has like yellow, brown, and red speckles in it. So it does actually, the speckles match the other 2 colors very nicely here. And then we have Blue Rinse, which is in use right now, Ice Skating Party, which I think is also prone to blowing out, and then Naive Watercolor here. So I've used a decent portion of that. I don't know, I still have lots left. But it'll be nice because there are purple speckles in this, and so it's gonna, I think it's gonna look really nice with the Blue Rinse. What would it be? There's just all the colors in the Naive Watercolor. It's a very complicated, very lovely blue. So, or would it be? So it'd be the case where this one has like streaks of like pink and purple and like a darker blue in it. So it should be, I think it'll be really nice. And what's been interesting about the Blue Rinse, so it looks very dark, but it is not as saturated as I thought it would be. I was thinking it was going to be mega dark, but it's not bad. It's what would it be? It's still probably in the same ballpark as in terms of depth. Whatever. I think I want to say value. I think value is what I'm talking about, is that be the case where, like, the ice skating party definitely has a lighter value, but the naive watercolor and blue rinse are pretty close in value, sort of like how the orange tabby and the firecracker are pretty close in value as well. So, not too crazy there. Pretty happy with how it's turning out. But lots of knitting went into this week. So I'm going to be bringing it with me when I visit my Berkeley knitters tomorrow. So we can all validate that it was in fact the correct course of action to do that. I don't think I'm going to be to the point where I start fading again for at least a little bit longer. Maybe I'll focus on some spinning. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but for some reason the green half of this 8-ounce spin is not inspiring me right now. Like, it's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't felt like spinning much lately, which is hilarious, because like handspun hat, handspun shawl, all those handspun in the stash, knitting lots of handspun. And for some reason, it's just like, I've just been like so focused on knitting handspun that like, or I haven't been making it. But you know, that's fine, because I just took 6 skeins out of the stash. Like with the fade shawl, like that opened up a lot of room. And so I don't know if this is the case where what I'm feeling right now is knitting some of these big lots of yarn that I have that I've set aside for various projects, and the feeling that you get when you end up, whatever, making a little bit of room. So, I don't know. I actually rearranged this a little bit and actually put my lace tag in the hole where the fade yarn was. But, I don't know. Perhaps we will not see visual progress of, like, my knitting accomplishments. A, because I think some of it is actually coming from cubbies that you guys can't see. But, like, I don't know. It's a decent feeling. Or would it be? Like, it's feeling good to use up some yarn. So, that's sort of, I don't know if that's where my headspace is, but it'd be the case where if you wanted bulk, spinning is the best way to take volume out of the stash, because fiber takes a lot of them. I can fit at least twice as much yarn in a Ziploc baggie as I can fiber. Maybe 4 times if it's very fluffy. So, I don't know. So it'd be the case where I did finally make it into the second, or would it be, I made it into the 4th and final ounce of the spin. So this is how it's turning out so far. So you have like the lime green, the forest green, little shots of a yellowy orange, and then white in there. But I'm finally working on the last ball. For some reason, it's just been dragging. And I don't, like, it's not that the prep's bad, it's not that I don't enjoy spinning the fiber, I just haven't been inspired to spin for whatever reason. But, like, it seems like maybe I can finally get the singles done. Maybe I have some time to do the little live of practicing plying. My artist friends think I might be a little crazy for my 4-ply idea, but I will swatch and let you guys know. Or would it be, I'll swatch and put that on as a YouTube live. So, I don't know. So it'd be the case where I just need to get it over with. But what would it be? But I believe Stash is starting on the 24th. It will be held on Discord, which should be pretty easy. What would it be? Probably, like, I won't install Discord on my work computer, so I won't be able to access it in that way. Like, I guess I could do it on the web or my phone, so whatever, it's fine. But that should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. There are plenty of ways to post, no big deal. um, so shouldn't be too crazy. Would it be? So I probably won't be applying this until later. Um, so I will start another spinning project. So I'll start another spinning project and just fill up my bobbins in preparation for Stash Dash. Because what would it be? Because that's what I do. And I don't know, I guess I don't anticipate that I will finish the sweater or the shawl before Stash Dash begins, but maybe I'll get awfully close. I don't know. There's been, like, I've managed to knit a lot in, like, the past 2 weeks, right? Trying to remember when I started the fade. I don't know, hopefully my project goes through. Oh, it's exciting. So, I don't know, like, they're gonna be great big, they're gonna be great big giant projects, and that's fine. Would it be? So I think I'll be going into Stash Dash in a pretty good place, and then what would it be? Then I'll fall flat on my face when I have to craft that whatever my normal speedo crafting. Because on one hand, like, things go fast because I focus, and or would it be? So it'd be the case where if you're like super polygamous, cast on all the projects, ADD knitter, where just nothing quite satisfies, so you have to hop all around. Whereas, like, my style of knitting, of, like, what would it be? Like, putting the power of my mind hyper concentrated on one thing until it is done. Or even just like, even just the 3-way split we have going on right now, right? Like, it just sort of depends on the situation, like what it is I'm looking for. Like, my social knitting was the color work, so that was fine. What would it be? It was funny because one of the women that we were with was like starting on a leaf chart, and she was just like in the counting zone. I'm like, oh, might not have been the best choice, but hopefully, whatever. She was fine. She was happy. She had the right number of stitches at the end, so it was all good. But whereas, like, I can do beaded knitted lace in company while drinking, so there's that. I don't know if I can right now with, like, whatever pandemic, when is this ever gonna end brain. But yeah. So it'd be the case where, because I can, like, put all of this attention in one place, then things move quickly on that project, right? And so even though it may take me several weeks to do, it's never gonna take me months to do. You know what I mean? And, like, coming from a place where I had, like, one set of needles and just monogamously knit hats, hundreds of hats. Like, so, would it be? It was just being able to knit was sufficient for my satisfaction. And then it was icing on the cake later when I got to do more complicated knitting. So, I don't know if I'm going to keep feeling the need to debulk stash, or pick the thing that's taking up the most volume in my stash to work on next, which is probably Skirn Ray. Because that Rama phenol garn is not efficiently packed in my stash right now. Nor do I think I could, just because, like, It's woolen spun. It is fluffy. Like, yeah, no, this is not the normal amount of density that I can get. And this is like pushing it a little, it's pushing it to have, what, 300 grams in a Ziploc bag when normally I can do at least 400. So the realm of field guard is taking up 2 Ziploc baggies worth of space. I might even be able to store books on this stupid shelf if I can get it out. So that's apparently where my headspace is. There are yarny events happening this weekend, but I'm not gonna shop. It's like I'm feeling good about this stash tab right now. Oh, such is life. Can't predict how things go or what things are gonna end up working out. So we'll just keep on keeping on, call it good, life continues on. But yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. So that's high up on the list right now. I don't know if it was in the mix earlier. There's definitely times when it's cold and foggy right now where it's like, maybe I do need to knit my DK now. And I could have my Battle Swan sweater. But honestly, actually, what's probably going to happen next, and this is the stash tab project that just really, really needs to happen, is reknitting the hem of my super luxurious V-neck boxy so that it doesn't have bags. I was like, you can see the bags on it without it even being on my body, so it just needs to get fixed. But I did not. It feels so good. Today is the day when this is the perfect day to wear the sweater. This Shibui mohair silk is so magical. If I'm properly stash planning, I should knit a sweater with yarn held double like the love note. But I'll fix a giant ass sweater with yarn held double instead. So I started to put markers into it to sort of live out where it is that I actually want the shirt rows to be. And then I also need to have like another offset in there, so I need to have like probably like an inch to an inch and a half of plain knitting before I begin the short rows as well. And then I can hide some of its awkwardness, or some of the awkwardness of doing shrinking short rows by the ribbing transition. Like, this is all like good common sense, what have you, but man, is it gonna suck to get in. And I believe I knit this on the same needle that I'm knitting this guy on, so there's also the thing about would it be getting things right for that. So I may get it onto like a small cable with stoppers on it, like pick it up with like my Chowgu mini set and just let it sit ready to go. Like, it is sort of usable now, but that sweater is too freaking fine to languish right now. Like you know, like you touch this, you go, oh, it's wonderful. So I maybe I'll bring it with me in my bag, because that was a big mess, and I wanted to fix it last year and got around to it. So I should do it this year, and it'll be fine. And whatever. Just need to do it. Need to rip it, do it. I could even start fixing it if I felt like it, but maybe if I am currently using the needles that I knitted on, probably not. I'll have to check to see what needles I did it on, because if I did do it on the other needles, then it would be totally fine. So that is the story there. Really screwed up today. Can't even see how much I screwed up. We're probably a little too full today. Oh. Yeah, no, the only other things going on right now is like probably need to stock IKEA for when they put the bookshelves we want in stock so that we can finally unpack that room. That would be festive. Totally using Amy Beth. I'm so freaking excited that the house is clean and that the hallway doesn't have a WTF box in it anymore. That's awesome. I was sore for quite a few days after that tandem ride. I will likely be going on a tandem ride next weekend. Wish me luck. What would it be? Life continues on. Like trying to keep an eye out for when Michigan starts turning the corner, because when Michigan turns the corner, I'll be much more comfortable about planning a trip there to see both sides of my family and both sides of my husband's family. So, I don't know. It's possible that they won't even have anything happen. It could just be the case where I spend a week hanging out with my grandparents and various aunts and uncles who are still near where I grew up. But I'll not be working. I'll be knitting up a storm while swanning around in my bikini. Can't swan around in my bikini here because it's 57. I don't know, it might be colder than 57. Who knows? What would it be? We don't have too much appreciable weather. It's fog or not fog here, so. Oh, it's chilly. It's 52. 52 and windy. Oops, lost that. Oh well. And I'm in the process of doing a taste test between the natural process Ethiopian coffee that I can get at the supermarket versus the natural process Ethiopian coffee that I can get from where I used to live in Texas. And I will say there is something magical about it because it's way fruitier if you have a natural process Ethiopian. This one smells of like chocolate dipped blueberries, but the one from Texas is like strawberry, and I think I just like it more. But I'm gonna drink through this bag of, or would it be like, it'd be the case where they like list it in order of like blueberry, chocolate, cherry, strawberry. So I think I just really like my strawberry tasting, only made by Magic Roasting of Beans coffee. Just leave it at that. And would it be like if I order 2 bags, then it's free shipping? So, or maybe it's like 3 bags. I have enough room in my cupboard now for 3 bags of coffee. That isn't the way you're supposed to do it. But what would it be? It'd be the case where, like you would like. There's definitely coffee culture here. Like there's definitely places that roast coffee, but maybe I haven't, or maybe what it boils down to is I need to visit the shop, and get it like super mega fresh. But I even really liked drinking their, what would it be? Like, so, if you care about coffee, which you may or may not, there's washed processes and natural processes. And the primary difference between a washed and a natural is that what they do is they actually remove the bean from the coffee bean from the coffee cherry, which is like, it looks like a cherry, so it's a fruit that is protecting the bean. And so in a wash process, you remove that, and then you wash off all the cherry stuff, and then the coffee tastes like, what would it be? Probably what you typically think of as coffee tasting. What's happening, Ethiopia, their coffee tradition is they actually like leave the cherry on. So all of the coffee cherry on. And so that means that the coffee has way more fruity flavors because the outside of it was covered in the delicious fruit of the coffee plant. And, oh, so good. And so that's why I like Ethiopian coffee the best. But there's just something really magical about whatever in the world they have going on with this coffee roaster in Texas that I can't quit it. I miss it. I want it. And it's not that expensive to get, so why would I do it myself? And would it be the other one that I get is actually like an artificially flavored hazelnut coffee. But I don't care. It tastes good. I like it. So that's the coffee that I can buy at the grocery store, and I'm always happy about getting it. So what would it be? That is the Phil's Coffee Filtered Soul. And I like it. I could probably get it fresher if I stopped by the shop and bought some, but whatever. What would it be? It's a very, very different coffee shop than what would it be? Like, this is not like a derivative of Starbucks sort of place. This is a case where all they do is brewed coffee 1 cup at a time. So you show up there, you look at all of the varieties of coffee they have, you say, I want filtered soul. They go grind some beans, put it in their little Chemex thing, do a pour over, you wait however long it takes in order for you to get your pour over, and then they hand you your cup. You can't get a latte there. If you wanted a latte, you wouldn't go there. And then, even despite like me talking about my coffee tasting like strawberries or blueberries, like I still put cream or sugar in, so I'm not like total hyper snob, what have you. But or would it be? It'd be the case where when I put these things in, it reminds me more of fruit than before. So, whatever, it's fine. But there it is. I don't know. The only sad thing is that when I used to buy the coffee in Texas, I would go by the shop. I would buy it directly from them. And when you bought a pound of beans, you got a free espresso drink. So then I would have so this coffee place, they do have espresso beans, and you can get a latte if you feel like it. But I would always get a cortado. Because they're cute and wee. Oh, I don't have an espresso machine at home. I'm looking forward to the time when I can use the espresso machine at work again. But not yet. Hopefully soon. And then I totally had like a brain fart. My final shot's not this weekend, it's next weekend. So I'll be doing a lot of crossing the bridge and paying the toll. Dump it off the side. Call it good. Oh well. So I don't mind. It'll be fine. So I don't know. That's sort of where I'm at right now is what would it be? Just figuring out where exactly my mojo's taking me, getting the plans in place for having a productive summer of knitting and spinning when it's 52 outside. No problem. What would it be? It's almost like 60 in the house right now. It's like 63. It's a testament to how sunburned I am, how warm I feel. I will try to wear long sleeves tomorrow. Oh, well. But hey, such is life. But yeah, no, so that's sort of where I'm at right now, is thinking about coffee, thinking about the future projects, that sort of thing. Um, Trying to figure out the most efficient way of debulking the stash, find the most efficient way of running stash, whatever, in my own heart and mind. I don't care what you guys do, or if you even care. But I suppose the only way to hit ridiculous yardages for pride and what have you is to just spin. So we'll get all my spinning lined up, get that moving. But yeah, no, I'm starting to wonder about my plan and which way I'm gonna break on it. That shouldn't be too crazy. I guess in some ways I did give myself more work by deciding that my next 2 spin the bin projects were going to be double sized from what I'd originally spec'd out. So I decided later that I wanted to combine bats I had made with colored fiber. And so I figured that was going to make it more fun to spin, but whatever. Maybe it'll be the case. I don't know. I haven't decided. There is the question of if I can, like, there are too many choices. I'll change my mind before I do it anyways. I'll let you guys know when I do this. Can't even see. I can't even see my bin up there right now. It's been so long since I've seen any action. Poor bin. I don't know. Do I even have like unwatched games in there? I don't know. I haven't thought about it in quite some time. It's quite possible that the only way that things are actually going to fit nicely is to work a lot of projects as well. So whatever, most of them are pretty small. But so that's sort of where my head's at. I'd be always excited to hear about what's inspiring you, what you guys are working on. Whether it be what's happening is whenever we begin to have plans again and see people we aren't in committed relationships with. What would it be as it becomes more safe to do so? So shouldn't be too crazy. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So take care, guys. Bye bye.